Hello and welcome. In this video, we will discuss why do we use Python in bioinformatics and what codes should be selected, code editor should be selected. So to get started on our topic, we will clear the first topic in which we will discuss why do we really have to use Python in bioinformatics. After all, there are so many languages, and why do we just need to use Python? There are two basic reasons, and the first one being the Python is very simple and is easy to learn, and secondly that it has a huge community and there are so many packages available in bioinformatics that can be used in Python that can be used for bioinformatics analysis. So such as BioPython and such as seqplot and other various packages that are available for sequence analysis, phylogenetic analysis, and data analysis and data visualization, obviously. NumPy, SciPy, and these are such as pandas, obviously. Such packages are available so that you can analyze huge amount of data and get your pipeline working, and the huge amount of data has to work through the pipeline in bioinformatics and so that you can get your results efficiently. So to get started on our second topic, why do we really need to use a code editor after all? Why can't we use Python ideally? Since we will be working bioinformatics analysis, and we really need to use a single professional platform where we can use our code and can write our code, can debug our code, and can obviously execute our code. Since Python is an interpreted language, so we need to use an interpreter. There are three basic code editors and IDEs that we can use. Let us just head over to google.com and we can find the best code editor in which we can use. And there are three code editors that BioCode recommends you. One of them is PyCharm, then VS Code, and then Atom. So in Atom, obviously it is a text editor and code editor. You can write, edit, and obviously visualize the Python code, but you cannot run it, execute it. You can just write it and create Python files. So we won't really recommend it unless you have another IDE where you can execute the code written in Atom. So what you can do is download and install it on your own, and you can work with various Python code. But Atom is also useful in opening FASTA files, FASTA files, and various other bioinformatics files, so that it is a +1 pro for this Atom and this software, obviously Atom. So the other option we have, which we at BioCode recommend after all to Linux, Macs, and Windows user as well. So this is a code editor, code in which you can write different sets of code such as C++, Java, HTML, Python, PHP, or any sort of code can be written in this code editor, Visual Studio Code, my bad. And so but there is one single thing that you need to understand, and that is that you need to install various libraries, such as if you are going to work with Python, you have to install Python within VS Code so that it can be debugged, can be executed. And to install VS Code, what we are going to do is go to Visual Studio Code and just click on download, and make sure you download the best, the appropriate version of yours. If you have a 64-bit, download 64, and if you have 32-bit computer, you have to download the 32-bit obviously. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click on user installer and 64-bit and just let it download, and once it downloads, so then we can get started on our installation. Let's open this file up and voila. And we'll accept the agreement, and then just click on next and make sure you click on create a desktop icon so that we can, and make sure that it is add to path has been checked. Obviously, as I told you in the previous video, that path variables are required to use the system variables to execute the code written in high-level language. Click on next and then install finally. So it'll take some time before the installation finishes, so that you have to be some patience. So just click on finish, and the VS Code will open on itself, and then we can start working with the files. Okay, so this will be the window that you will see, and then you can start working on your Python files. All you have to do is you have to just click on file, new file, and a new file will open, and you can just start writing the code. But before you do that, before you start writing your code, what you are going to do is click on Control S, and then save the file. For example, my Python .py, and because Python has extension .py, we have to make sure that any file that we are going to write our code in should be should have an extension of .py. So make sure that it has .py extension. Just click on save, and then a Python file will be created, and you can write your code right away. See, now you can also see the Python logo here on the file. And you can start writing your code right here. So let me make sure it is working. Print hello BioCode. This is our first line of code. Let's just copy it multiple times so that we can make sure Python is working. This is not the professional way, by the way. And this is just to demonstrate that it works. So make sure the file has been saved. Click on debug, run without debugging, and make sure you give it some time just so that the file can be loaded on its own and interpret it. So here you go. It is displaying so many hello bytecode, and you can click on control, and another file will be getting, and you can start writing the code right away. And this is a basic method to execute the Python code within VS Code. But remember that this is not specified for and specifically used for Python. It has various other options. You can open FASTA files, FASTA files, and various other alignment files. Any sort of file can be opened within VS Code. But it is a code editor after all. It is not an IDE, integrated development environment. In that case, what we are going to do is going to install PyCharm, which is basically used by professionals for professional purposes. If your computer supports it, it requires extra RAM and memory on your storage, and obviously memory on your computer. So in that case, what you are going to do is utilize PyCharm. But if you have a slow computer, I don't recommend this. We at BioCode don't recommend this at all. So please be aware of that. But since my computer is a server on itself, we can use it, and we can write our code in it. So when it's downloaded, you can just install it, write your code right away. And it is very similar to VS Code as well in appearance, and you can get familiar with it in a short amount of time. So that was all of this. And and to summarize the topic, we use Python in bioinformatics because it has a huge community, and a lot of libraries are written, packages are written that can be used for data analysis and building pipelines in bioinformatics. Secondly, what we recommend is use of Visual Studio Code Editor, so that we can write Python code efficiently and debug it without any hesitation and without any problem. So that was all of this topic. Please watch other videos so that you can get started on Python right away. Thank you so much.